सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगेन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते। नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासं निराकारं निरञ्जनं नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दं गुरुं ब्रह्मा नमाम्यहम्। तत्त्वविवेकः कः आत्मा सत्य तदन्त्य सर्वमिथ्येति तदन्यत् सर्वमिथ्येति।
आत्मा कः स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीराद् व्यतिरिक्तः
स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीराद् व्यतिरिक्तः कः
पंचकोशातीतः सन्
पंचकोशातीतः सन्
अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः सन् यस्तिष्ठति स आत्मा स्थूल शरीरं किम् पंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतम् तत्कर्मजन्यं सुख दुःखादि भोगायतनं शरीरम् अस्ति जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते नश्यतीति षड्विकारवदेतत्
विनश्यतीति षड्विकारवदेतत्
स्थूल शरीरम् सूक्ष्म शरीरं किम् अपंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतम् तत्कर्मजन्यं सुख दुःखादि भोग साधनम् पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि पंच प्राणादयः मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदश कलाभिः सह यत्तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्म शरीरम् ज्ञान इंद्रियाणि श्रोत्रं त्वक्चक्षुः रसनाघ्राणम् इति पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता त्वचो वायुः चक्षुषः सूर्यः रसनाया वरुणः
रसनाय वरुणः
प्राणस्य अश्विनौ
प्राणस्य अश्विनौ
इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः
इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः
श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणम्
श्रोतस्य विषय शब्दग्रहणम्
त्वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणम्
त्वचो विषय स्पर्शग्रहणम्
चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणम्
चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणम्
रसनाया विषयः रसग्रहणम्
रसनाय विषय रसग्रहणम्
घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम् इति
घ्राणस्य विषय गन्धग्रहणम् इति
कर्म इन्द्रियाणि
कर्म इन्द्रियाणि
वाक्पाणिपादपायु उपस्थानिति
वाक्पाणिपादपायु उपस्थानिति
पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
वाचो देवता वह्निः
वाचो देवता वहिनी
वह्निः
वहिनिः
वह्निः
वह्निः
The ha is half and then na. So ha sounds first and then na. Vahnihi.
वह्निः
Hastayorindrah.
हस्तयोरिन्द्रः
Padayorvishnuh.
पादयो विष्णुः
Payormrityuh.
पायो मृत्युः
Upasthasya prajapatihi.
उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः
Iti karmendriya devata.
इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः
Vacho vishayah bhashanam.
वाचो विषय भाषणम्
पायोर्विषयः वस्तुग्रहणम्
पायो विषय वस्तुग्रहणम्
पादयोर्विषयः गमनम्
पादयो विषय गमनम्
पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः
पायो विषय मलत्यागः
उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्द इति
उपस्थस्य विषय आनन्द इति
कारणशरीरं किम्
कारणशरीरं किम्
अनिर्वाच्य अनादि अविद्यारूपम्
अनिर्वाच्य अनादि अविद्यारूपम्
शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रम्
शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रम्
तत्स्वरूपाज्ञानम्
तत्स्वरूपज्ञानम्
निर्विकल्पकरूपम्
निर्विकल्पकरूपम्
यदस्ति तत्कारणशरीरम्
यदस्ति तत्कारणशरीरम्
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
So we'll continue. As we are now chanting the second section, if you are following the thought flow, if you're following the text, and it is to some extent clear, as you chant, you should be able to visualize it like a picture. There will be a diagrammatic representation, as if a picturization that starts forming of the words when you have understood. So because in this text, this is a very unique feature. Every text has some uniqueness about it. The unique feature of this text is that he, Sri Shankaracharya, has presented it in a way that it is a systematic model. So if one follows it, one should be able to objectify the words with an understanding of the recognition of what it is pointing to. Like when you define Sthula Avastha, Sthula Sharira, then as you're chanting it, slowly when you get familiar, like you got familiar with the first part, when you get familiar with the second part, the idea is to keep chanting it, even if it is just, you can't take out too much time every day, just chant the verses every day, even it'll probably just take 5 minutes. But very soon in a week, 10 days, 15 days, you will find that your image gets formed in the mind. And once that image is formed of Sthula Shariram Kim, and then what is Sthula Shariram, and the picturization happens, this is Sthula Shariram. As the thought flow keeps happening, you will realize that the more and more material you begin to understand clearly, that much easy it becomes in identification with your existing experiences. As I'm repeating constantly, Vedanta is not a theoretical subject. It is not giving us knowledge about something. The manner in which it presents the knowledge is that it helps us understand something which is evident there. And because I have misunderstood it and I see it completely as something else, the presentation of Vedantic knowledge is that I need correction in my vision. So to correct that vision, it gives the methodology of what is in my vision and saying this is not it. So you will see that the picturization that happens is very subjective recognition, and the wisdom starts to establish itself. The wisdom begins to settle down because you will not be able to separate the words from your understanding of who you are, because though you will refer, yes, this is the body, I am this, I am the form, I am born, I will die, I have sukha, I have dukkha, I need this. Though you will vyavaharically continue all vyavaharik conversations and life, but the understanding, the correction will not fade away. Like for example, we give the example, for a long time human beings believed Earth is square. But when that knowledge got corrected and we realized it's not square, it's elliptical, it's circular, but with a little orb. And suddenly, years held wrong knowledge which was treated as right and which established your vyavahar also. The minute it got corrected, yes, the vyavahar got corrected, but the old incorrect knowledge never surfaced again. It's got destroyed. The other example that goes along with it to convey what I'm saying is that when you see a sun rising and say at sunrise and sunset, the tradition was that people did the Nitya Karmas, and so one of them was you did your Gayatri Mantra. So when you see a sunrise and you do your Gayatri Mantra at that time, or sun setting and you do your Gayatri Mantra at that time, when you have clearly understood that sun is not rising or setting ever, when you know that sun is now the center of the earth and not earth which you believed before when it was square and you said earth was the center of the universe, now you know sun is the center of the universe and sun doesn't come and go. It is the earth which revolves around this. When your right knowledge has taken place, even though in Vyavahar you are still doing Gayatri Mantra at sunrise and sunset, even then the knowledge has got corrected and it is not replacing itself now. It is there in your vision that there is nothing called sunrise and sunset. It's an appearance, arisen because of the movement of the earth. It's not the characteristic of sun. It is not the nature of sun. In fact, I do Gayatri Mantra because it is not the nature of sun to come and go. If sun was coming and going, then I would not probably have this karma to do, because sun itself is coming and going. It is temporary. In my existential life, sun is the most eternal seen factor. Therefore, around something this mantra comes up. Seeing that it is all light giving and life flourishes around it, sun becomes a very important entity in a Vedic system of thought. That sun I'm worshipping at sunrise, my sunrise time. When you're living in America, your sunrise time is different. When you live in Australia, your sunrise time is different. At my sunrise time, I am worshipping it, or I'm doing some Surya Namaskar, or I'm doing whatever. I'm recognized, or I'm even saying good morning, doesn't matter. I'm saying good morning because I am woken up. I know sun has woken me up. The very fact that you recognize simultaneously that it is eternally there, in quote unquote words, it is there, it didn't come and go. The movement of the earth gave me the day and the night. Sun was there, illumining ever as it illumines, etc. The knowledge has made a huge correction in my understanding. It has helped me grow tremendously. Our science has grown tremendously because of this fundamental discovery. But in Vyavahar, I'm treating it as sunrise and sunset. See, what happens with right knowledge of Vedanta, when it has, I will start saying the word, when your penny has dropped. When the whole, as you keep getting the knowledge clearly, and it settles down in your understanding without doubts. It settles down in your understanding, and that understanding is not a buddhi vyapar. That understanding is Vishay of Vedanta, which is subjective knowledge about who you are. When this understanding comes to you, then as you will chant these words, you will start realizing that there is an objectification of everything and you are distinct from it. Slowly, slowly, that is called penny dropping. That is where you will absorb knowledge and you will get the rasa of it. When you have sugar cane, when I was children, we must have all had sugar cane, and they were much more joyful when we were children than children have joy from sugar cane now. But that sugar cane, that big pieces, and then I do this, and you only get the rasa after you've chewed it. The machine chews it, but the fun of having that sugarcane rust is when the sugarcane gets chewed by your teeth. And then it's something, the rasa is totally an independent taste. It doesn't come to everybody. It is only the one who chewed it got the rasa. That chewing is the mananam. That chewing is the nididhyasanam. You will realize those angas later on. Means it's reflection, in short. When you chew over the understanding to make that objective distance diminish itself, means today the knowledge seems somewhere very far off. When slowly the knowledge comes as a subjective recognition, yet in my vyavahar, the drishti doesn't alter. I do my vyavahar as per the rules of the game, as per the rules of creation. I continue my vyavahar actually as per the rules of dharma. The vyavahar continues, but something here where you felt yourself as a limited being, where you felt yourself as a bound being, or as an individual, as a seeker also, that's suddenly, or as the penny drops, that clarity dawns. And you see, as the definition moves, Thula Shariram Kim, Gyanindriya, Karmindriya, Prana, they are not words. They are not at all words. They are words explaining or describing what here is happening. If I were to recognize it myself as individual, I wouldn't have needed Shastra to tell me. I'm a user of it. I employ my organs of perception and action, and my pranas are going on, and I'm talking, and everything is happening. But none of us has ever had the clarity of what it is. We don't even question, really speaking. You are a rare human being if you have even questioned it, and your questioning has brought you to Vedanta. You are a very rare, you already have earned a lot of extra, call it grace, or anugraha, call it whatever, but these are all vyavaharik terms. Your own quest would have brought you to it. If you were questioning, how are my eyes seeing? How do my ears hear? What is this thing called life? Why is it common in everyone who breathes? Is actually matter inert? What is the difference between inertness and livingness? Where does the livingness arise from? Where is it resting at? What is called livingness? Has anybody ever found a definition of it? Why do I feel sometimes happy, sometimes sad? Why am I associating things that I am getting in life with happiness and things that I'm losing as sorrow or grief, and I cry over it, or I want them changed? Why am I not able to accept things as they are? Why is there a need to change things? Is changing things right? Or there, for a thinking person, it's a mad world out there when you start thinking. Out there means in here. It's amounting to madness because you realize if you are a thinking person, we have hardly any answers in the world, coming from the world. And everybody is hitting in the dark, hoping that they are hitting the bullseye. There is no knowledge which is complete enough to give you a full perception, except, and I will take absolute joy and glory and invoke the grace by saying, except Advaita Vedanta. And it's not that easy to just say, okay, Vedanta ne bol diya aur hame samajh mein aa jata hai. Even in Advaita Vedanta, there are many, many, many small differences. You have to start visualizing, understanding the differences. And when you get this all only as a matter of recognition, then you are on the right track. So the idea is, as we are, I know the classes when they're online, and when people listen to it later on, boring, and you want to just, the correct thing for me, a person who takes online classes, would be to skip all this so that you can get straight to it, because people would have interest then, and it grows like that. But that's not going to benefit. What will benefit equally much as knowledge of this is that when you chant the words, even if you do not know how to chant initially, none of us knew it, trust me. None of us who came to Vedanta in this modern time, at least, by the time we've come into an independent India era where English was considered to be a more primary language and a more whatever. So the Sanskrit samskar is not really ingrained in that sense in our educational system. So it takes a lot of learning curve to get the words, doesn't matter. But the idea is, sometime the words start integrating with their meanings. The meanings will not remain as the words of someone who's saying. The meaning will not remain as an object of your intellectual understanding. The meaning will get identified with the word you read. And that meaning will get translated in the very subjective experience. You will recognize it. It is not an experience that will be born. It will be the experience that I am going through, which I will recognize as woo, woo, woo. Just as our famous example, एप्पल सबके सर पे गिरा लेकिन किसी को नहीं समझ में आया लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटी. किसी ने पूछा ही नहीं ये नीचे क्यों गिरता है. मगर जिसने भी पूछा, कितने लोगों ने पूछा होगा, बट सबके पास परसिवरेंस नहीं था टू फिगर इट आउट कि ये नीचे क्यों गिरता है. There's only one person who persevered the question, who persevered the query, because it looked evident that everything going up falls down. ये सबका experience था. It was not just Newton's experience. And then we all started having the experience. Everybody had the experience. We just took it for granted. We were intellectually lazy. We were lethargic in our approach to life. We were dull in our manner of living life. We did not know the worth of it, the value of it. So we just think, ऐसा ही चलता है जिंदगी में. 99.99999, if I can put the recurrence, are like that. But that 1.00001 was a Newton. So the whole long shot, today I've taken a very long introduction. The whole long and short of this introduction of the classes to come to value our own chanting and independent churning of what I am learning. When I churn it over, you will realize at some point they mix, the words and the meaning come together and they're inseparable after that. And then the inseparability comes with recognition of one. Because this, as I said, the anugraha of this author, this text it's an extremely systematic approach. Very, very, very systematically. There is a thought flow which you find most of Vedantic texts presume that you already know something beforehand when you start the study of Vedanta. They already presume that you must be knowing certain words and certain definitions. This author has done that homework. He gives you all these definitions at one go. But the idea then becomes is that they help me to consolidate and externalize what is, place them what is where. Externalize, I mean, I begin to place my Sthula Shariram where it is to be placed. I begin to place my Sukshma Shariram where it is to be placed. I begin to place my Indriyas where they need to be placed. I begin to place the Golakas where they need to be placed. As my definition gets clearer and clearer, my picturization should form. I don't know still the name of that puzzle. Those 100 pieces puzzle or 1,000 pieces puzzle, what are they called? Kind of a mosaic thing that they come up with. Children play with it, and you have to fit the right piece in the right place, and then suddenly you have this beautiful picture. So somebody made, you have many such things. It's something like that. In the same way, sorry?
Jigsaw puzzle?
It's a jigsaw puzzle. It's called a jigsaw only. Okay. Picture jigsaw puzzle. There must be some particular thing. So the idea is that you are one whole. This whole that you see yourself as, that we all recognize ourselves as, is actually the cause of our suffering. The whole that I see myself as today, I see myself as a whole, complete one being, with all my body and my likes and my dislikes and my fears and my anxiousness and my desires and my wants, and my list is endless in a way, my relations and my children and my grandchildren and my no, sorry, that's too far. Now we don't live that much. And my, grandchildren and my, maybe if I'm rare enough, great grandchildren, and my neighbors and my friends and my, there are jobs, and that is, my life is full. I'm a full person. Shastra has started by saying this vision of myself as being full is actually the, when once in a while all of us have cried in life. Is it true or not? Itna to sab pehle, this answer everybody must give. Once in a while, once at least in our lifetime, if not more, I'm starting with minimum. At least once we have all cried in life. Yes or no? You can just nod if you want. Yes? Once at least we have cried in life. Huh? That once having cried in life, Shastra says, was actually the cause of you seeing yourself, who you see yourself as complete, and that is not you. Today, what you see yourself as complete is actually born from not knowing who you really are, and that not knowing who you are is avidya. So what you have seen once in your lifetime, okay, we are all 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus, इतना तो उम्र हो गया अब हम काफी काफी जी लिया हम लोगों ने अब 30 plus average is the age group for Vedanta. Normally rarely it comes to in young classes, youth classes it comes, but all of us have a minimum once cried or got dejected or got upset or have had grief or have had anger, we have had frustration. कुछ तो ऐसा हुआ है when we have said, what is life यार, क्या भगवान तू क्यों ऐसा कर, कुछ मतलब कोई सृष्टि बनानी ही थी तो कम से कम ऐसी बनाता जहां सिर्फ आनंद ही. What was your problem? It is after all your सृष्टि ना, एक हमने तो नहीं बनाई थी, तूने ही अपना दुनिया बनाया और फिर हमको बिठाया. हमने तो नहीं कहा कि हमें बिठा दो, हमें बिठा दिया यहाँ पे और फिर हमें यहाँ पे ऐसे ऐसे एक्सपीरियंस करा दिया जिसमें आधे से ज्यादा टाइम तो यू आर नॉट हैप्पी विद देम एंड यू even cried. And I am saying even once if I have cried in my lifetime, that is enough for Shastra to say the cause of this sorrow or grief, even once if it has come in your lifetime, is because your vision of yourself, what you think is complete, is truly wrong knowledge about yourself. This is a wrong knowledge about yourself you carry. While all of us carry this knowledge, therefore, this wrong knowledge must have a right knowledge. What is that right knowledge? Which means Shastra is telling me in my entire life, in someone's entire life, not even once will there be sorrow, grief, frustration, anger, blah, 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 blah. Not even once. Is it even possible? In your entire life, not even once. Afterwards, it makes a certain correction, but just to start off with, the correction it makes is even Rama, when he came, had a little one moment of, that one, because when you're born in a body, that is that little. But where is the comparison of our sorrow and grief and etc. with Rama or Krishna or whoever? The point is, whatever you think you are today as a whole being, your entire knowledge of you, as you are claiming yourself to be, in Vedanta Drishti, this entire knowledge is a wrong knowledge. I am taking clear words, no messing around with words. It is wrong knowledge. जिस इंसान को ये समझ में आता है ना, जब मुझे फर्स्ट टाइम ये सुना और हमारे लिटरली कहते हैं ना दैट कहावत, योर carpet under your feet, it was pulled away. What I मतलब, where am I standing in life then? Where is my identity standing? If everything you are saying that I know about myself is actually wrong knowledge, then where am I standing? Where is my knowledge of myself established in? Is standing? क्या आधार है इस पूरे ज्ञान का फिर? अगर ये पूरा ज्ञान मेरे बारे में गलत है, तो मेरा आधार ही क्या है मेरे ज्ञान का? And then starts the inquiry. And it's not like overnight you hear once and it's हो गया. Oh, enlightened हो गए हम, हो गया सब संसार. धीरे, there's this कहावत, धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए. माली पीछे 100 घड़ा, means माली 100 घड़ा डाले, ऋतु आए फल होए. That one monsoon, 100 घड़े से माली सींचता है उसको, और एक ऋतु आती है, and the whole thing becomes blooms. That 100 घड़ा water before, is it useless?
No.
That's not useless, because unless until माली ने उसको 100 घड़ों से सींचा था, तब तक वो एक ऋतु उस बीज को पकाती नहीं, उस फल को लाती नहीं, उस फूल को फैलाती नहीं, उस पूरी बहार को लाती नहीं. वो जगह जिसको हम जन्नत कहते हैं, वो जन्नत होती नहीं. In the sense of all that what monsoon brings to us, when it's all lush green, and especially when you go to hill stations and you get it there, and we go to hill stations because of that, because after monsoon is the time when it's all. But how did it happen? What happened in the time when it was winter? What happened in the time when it was autumn? What happened in the time when it was summer? In the same way, this knowledge is about your own self. That correction is not going to be in an intellectual format. कि हाँ मैंने जान लिया, I'm not a gross body. So what? Now what? The minute I have understood clearly, nothing will change. Not that you do not still have a gross body, but now the bondage that you felt, or the limitation that you felt, or your sense of identity, change it, and changed forever. You could never mistake again after that. Just as when you discovered that earth is not square, you could never ever again mistake that earth possibly can be square. हो सकता है हम गलत थे, हो सकता है कि earth is the center of the universe and किसी ने गलती कर दी थी. If you still have a doubt, that means your knowledge is not complete. That's really the prasad of this Vedantic knowledge, if I can put it this way. So now, what is avidya? I have removed the technical term to some extent. Avidya is just me perceiving myself in a whole way today. I have a whole perception of myself, isn't it? Is anybody volunteering to go along with a little exercise with me now? Jim. I'll restart with the same thing that we did before. Do you first see yourself as a whole vision of your own self? If I say, we meet up as strangers, and who are you? When you wake up in the morning, what do you see yourself as? Do you have the perception of one whole vision of yourself? Is my question clear? आपके नजरिए में, आपकी दृष्टि में, जो आप अपने आप को मैं कहता हूं, क्या इसका नजरिया आपको कंप्लीट दिखता है कि नहीं दिखता है? नहीं. You don't see yourself as a complete you? Okay, one part of it is right also. You're right. Nahi. But that nahi is more of a name and form. Okay. That nahi is more of actually your inner feeling. But how do you perceive yourself? Do you see your hands separate, your feet? Let me clarify the question further. Do you see your hands separate, your feet separate, your eyes separate, your mind separate, your wanting to do something today separate? No, we all have this, what is that? Today list. My today's list.
If you put it like that, no, I see myself as one individual. Yes.
Absolutely. We all have this whole thing as one. When I wake up in the morning, with all my flaws and my wants and my anger and my frustration and my incompleteness, everything, and my happiness and my joy, the whole sukh aur dukh ka ikattha, I see myself as one. In this now, this one ka vision, now you start seeing, what do you call yourself? That one has a name and a form.
Yes.
This one has a gender.
Yes.
नो आरू को उठा दो 1 मिनट.
किन्नू उठाना है? Preeti ji, your mic is open, is on. So you see yourself as one.
Yes.
Now, when you see yourself as name and form and gender and color, this is my color. Then you see yourself as an age. I have this age.
Yes.
And we all know, with every birthday, we all know though we are celebrating the birthday, God knows why we celebrate the birthday when we so clearly know I have grown 1 year closer to my death date. But strange is human behavior and strange is human beings' ways of celebration. We celebrate our birthday for coming closer to our death day. Why? Because I was born to do what? What am I celebrating? What was I born to do? Enjoy myself for that day thoroughly. Our wishes are also like that, etc. No harm, व्यवहारिक ठीक है अपनी जगह पे सब कुछ. But what more is there in your complete vision? Imagine all your flaws that you call yourself, or all your wants, all your anger, frustration of the day, all your happiness of the day. In your own vision, it is complete. You're a complete person with all of that in your vision. You accept that I can get angry. You accept that हाँ मेरे को भी गुस्सा आ सकता है. You accept कि मैं भी दुखी हो सकती हूँ. You accept कि मुझे कुछ मेरी expectations मिली नहीं है तो मुझे. You accept. You are justifying everything. That means you see yourself as complete. My anger is justified to me. It is not justified to another person. My expectations not met is justified to me. Is not justified to another person. That means I am seeing myself as complete. मैं मुझ में मेरे में मेरे को कोई पता है कमियां हैं लेकिन वो फिर भी complete दिखती है. मेरी कमियां justified हैं इसलिए complete दिखती हैं. That in one go, it's a balloon, and in one prick, Vedanta demolishes it by saying कि तुम्हारा पूरा completeness is actually avidyajanya. It is actually avidya. Your whole of this personality building, everything has come from your current sharir. Which means जैसा मैंने पहले सोचा था उसी ने मेरा बीज बोया, उसी बीज से फिर से मैंने वैसा ही सोचा, और जैसा मैंने सोचा वैसे ही मैंने किया, जो मैंने किया वही फिर से बीज बन गया, वो बीज मेरा फिर से कारण शरीर है, उस कारण शरीर से फिर से मेरा थॉट आया, इंप्रेशन से मेरा थॉट आया, उस थॉट से मैंने फिर से कुछ किया, वो किया ने फिर से मेरा इंप्रेशन. ये पूरा का पूरा साइकिल. Isn't there a unison as if in my कारण शरीर, सूक्ष्म शरीर and my स्थूल शरीर, ये एक साथ एक चक्र में नहीं क्या बंधे हुए? They are like three sides of a wheel. क्या ये इकट्ठे नहीं चल रहे? क्या मेरा स्थूल शरीर अपने आप से काम किया? नहीं किया. उसको चलाने वाला सूक्ष्म शरीर. क्या सूक्ष्म शरीर जो ओके स्थूल शरीर को तो चला रहा है बिकॉज मेरी इच्छा हुई अभी आई रियली आई एम क्रेविंग फॉर गर्मियां शुरू हो गई, आइसक्रीम फॉर आइसक्रीम, आई एम स्क्रीमिंग आई वांट आइसक्रीम, so I want आइसक्रीम आइसक्रीम आइसक्रीम. अब बिफोर आई कैन गेट वन, शोर कहाँ मचा? सूक्ष्म शरीर में अंदर ही शोर मचा. आइसक्रीम आइसक्रीम, धीरे धीरे, पहले रुक रुक के आया, धीरे से आया आइसक्रीम, गर्मी हो गई आइसक्रीम. फिर थोड़ी देर बाद बिकॉज अभी यू आर बिजी डूइंग समथिंग, थोड़ी देर बाद फिर से आइसक्रीम, फिर थोड़ी देर बाद फिर से आइसक्रीम, टिल बिकेम अ ह्यूज स्क्रीम, आइसक्रीम, आई वांट आइसक्रीम. And then it became so restless and agitating inside that you really had to online order nowadays. So you ordered it online. And then what? Then you, all of your sthula sharir started operation because your sukshma sharir chillaya andar se, I am missing an ice cream. I want ice cream. और वो तब तक चुप नहीं हुआ. या तो आपने उसे चुप करा दिया, नहीं नहीं अभी नहीं खा सकते, अभी तुम्हारा गला खराब है, या तो वो मान गया था और चुप हो गया था, फिर कुछ दिन बाद फिर शुरू हो गया बिकॉज अब तो मेरा गला ठीक हो गया और अब तो मुझे आइसक्रीम चाहिए, अब तब तो दी नहीं थी, अब तो. A simple example like this and you see everything in our sukshma sharir is something similar. And then your gross body started acting because your sukshma sharir started directing. अभी जाके उस ऐप पे जाके ऑर्डर करो, नहीं तो तुम्हारे पास वाली जो दुकान है अपना मास्क लगाओ और जाओ और लेके आओ, या और फोन करो, वो लेके आएगी, और फिर उसको immediately pay off and then open the jar and then the hands work फट से, and then the first spoon that goes into the mouth. आनंद, शांति, पूरा जो चिल्लाया मन में, थोड़ी देर के लिए क्या हुआ, शांत हो गया. While you are having the ice cream, now as if you are in heaven, जन्नत, सब जिंदगी में सब मिल गया मुझको, जो मुझे आज के लिए चाहिए था मुझे सब मिल गया, because I got my, जो बड़े दिन से मन कर रहा था. The minute you set this in the सूक्ष्म शरीर में, वो टेस्ट का शोर आया कहां से, स्टोरी तो मचा ना. I was once asked, when I wanted to study Vedanta, I was asked by a teacher, do you like chocolates or do you like ice cream? And when my Vedanta teacher asks me, you like chocolates or you like ice cream, I'm like taken aback. I've come for Vedantic knowledge. Chocolate and ice cream का क्या लेना देना इससे? I want आत्मा ज्ञान. आत्मा क्या है बताओ ना मुझको, आत्मा ज्ञान चाहिए. चॉकलेट एंड आइसक्रीम से क्या लेना देना इसका? कुछ भी लेना देना नहीं था. But just to identify what are you fond of, and then you start seeing the recognition of the thought pattern. ये कहां से निकला अंदर? But natural, as a child, I have preferred one over the other, or we may have preferred both. So I want both. Once I want to each one our own now. At one time I want chocolate, and then the minute I've had chocolate, I want ice cream, and therefore we have flavors with chocolate. Because chocolate can't come with ice cream, but ice cream can come with chocolate. If I am really a कीड़ा यहाँ पे दिमाग में, अगर मेरे सोचने का कीड़ा हो, तो मैं जरूर सोचूंगी बैठ के इन दोनों में सूक्ष्म कौन है, और चॉकलेट है कि आइसक्रीम है. बिकॉज चॉकलेट कैन एग्जिस्ट विदाउट आइसक्रीम, बट आइसक्रीम कैन मतलब एग्जिस्ट ऑफ कोर्स विदाउट चॉकलेट, बट आइसक्रीम कैन ऑल्सो कंबाइन विद चॉकलेट. बट इज चॉकलेट कंबाइनिंग विद आइसक्रीम? आइसक्रीम फ्लेवर आ सकता है चॉकलेट में, चॉकलेट का फ्लेवर आइसक्रीम में आ सकता है, लेकिन चॉकलेट में आइसक्रीम आ सकती है. इसमें क्या आ रहा है? Is that inquiry ever going to give you anything more fruitful? Is this a prayojan of an inquiry? Which one is subtler than what? It's निष्प्रयोजन, कोई फायदा नहीं है मेरा ये जान के भी अगर आइसक्रीम सटल है कि चॉकलेट सटल है, आइसक्रीम बेटर है कि चॉकलेट बेटर है. If my taste for chocolate is better, is my taste for ice cream better? Or I have taste for both? Where did this taste come from? It was latent in your Karan Sharir. Your preference is already latent in your, because you've already preferred before. It has formed an impression. Now रुक के every गर्मी वो फिर शुरू हो जाता है, कभी कभी ठंड में भी शुरू होता है. Nowadays advertisements are such that they allow you to enjoy ice cream in winters also. उसका आनंद ही कुछ और है, because actually it got generated by seeing the advertisement. The point is, कारण शरीर, सूक्ष्म शरीर, स्थूल शरीर, इन तीनों में एक समन्वय है. They are together. They come as a package. That they come like a package together. The whole of it is actually janya from avidya. This perception of mine that I see as so complete today with all my flaws and my wants and my desires and my anger, but I see myself as one unit. Meri drishti mein I am one, which includes so many parts. I am a mother of someone, I am a sister for someone, I am a brother for someone, I am a friend for someone. There are so many parts in my one. That is what I would have asked Rim Jim later, but I'm continuing with this thought flow now without asking her. So you see yourself as a whole part, and then you are a sister, you're a mother, you're a worker, you're a co-worker, you're a friend, and none of the two relations are alike. Don't we know that? No two relations are alike. That's the most amazing part. If I'm the same person, even with two people, I'm not the same. दो लोगों के साथ भी I'm different. That is how we form our friends and enemies. If I am the same person, either I am lovable to all or I am hated by all. But ऐसा नहीं होता है. Some people really love me as in, and some people hate me like anything. They can't have the sight of me. They can't see the sight of me because the minute they see my sight, उनका ना एक विजिगुप्सा they feel like vomiting when they see me. They hate me so much that they think that I am the worst thing that happened in their life. When they see me, they feel as if I'm the most inauspicious person. जैसे कहते हैं ना बिल्ली रास्ता काट जाती है तो खाली बिल्ली तो उसको छप वो मेरी नजर शक्ल देखकर उनको लगता है अब तो उनका दिन पूरा खराब हो गया. अरे कोई कहता है कि यार माय मदर वुड से कि माय मोस्ट मेरी जिंदगी मतलब ब्ला ब्ला एंड देयर समवन एल्स हु विल से कि ये रास्ता जब मुझे दिख भी जाए तो मेरा दिन खराब हो जाता है. सेम मी. But my vision of myself, is it complete or not with all this happening in it? I have so many parts that I can identify, roles that I play. With changing life, I have changing roles. So much that we've already seen has happened. All of this, the bottom line of it is that avidya janya. This is all karana shariram. Born from not knowing the real essential. Where is this complete vision really coming from? मेरी दृष्टि में जो मैं हमेशा एक अलग अलग भी देखते हुए भी एक I है. That I seems to be steady. मेरा मैं seems to be complete. It doesn't change. That मैं seems to be sthir throughout my life. So मैं में फिर I don't seem to have gradations. दिन में उठते उठता है दोपहर को पूरा मैनिफेस्ट होता है शाम होते होते ढलता है रात को गायब हो जाता है. Is my मैं functioning like that through the day? As a child मेरा इतना सा मैं था फिर my 10th birthday or my 8th birthday or my 12th birthday or my 16th birthday or my 18th birthday or my 21st birthday my मैं became full. And then धीरे धीरे my मैं is now diminishing with my age. Is it happening? Even at 90 years my मैं will remain the same that it was when I found my मैं when I was 6-year-old. My मैं did not diminish itself. So this completeness is actually, where am I to place it? Because when I say I'm angry, I don't find myself complete. Like Rimjim said, you actually don't find yourself complete in one angle. From one drishti, you find incompleteness in yourself. And yet you find the steadiness of the usage of a complete visualization of yourself. Where is the completeness coming from? And why am I feeling incomplete? How can the two coexist? How can you be complete and incomplete? That completeness is Atma. That incompleteness, not recognizing that, is constantly giving the impression of कुछ missing है, कुछ missing है. कुछ कर लूं तो और शायद कंप्लीट हो जाऊं, कुछ और बन जाऊं तो और that is avidya, not recognizing that you are complete as Atma. तत् स्वरूप का ज्ञान ना होने से I am seeing myself all this, and that is the cause of all limitations and sansar, etc. So this, how do I see myself? This is inexplicable. It has happened not in time. It is pratipatti krama. It is not something that happens in a sequence that you can place. It's not a causation which is sequential. It is a causation which is not sequential. Your Karana Sharir is the cause of Sthula and Sukshma and Sthula Sharir. Not in the manner that it came first and then this so that you can place it. It is simultaneous a projection. The snake is a projected scene. It is not a real scene. But its effects are really seen. The effects are really seen. The fear is really seen. So, just concluding it, we need to move on, of course, but I wished to express the importance of understanding avidya. What is Karana Sharir? And it is called avidya of Satswarup. वही स्थान है उसका. When there is avidya, it is also the seed. वही कारण है. It is the seed for giving birth to my endless cycles. And that is Karan Sharir. Then in Atma Kaha, we finish Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharirat. Atma is Vyatiriktaha to all three. So if you take a moment, if you have been listening to it and following the thought as best as I can, and you are digesting it as best as you can, up to the point you're digesting, the minute this portion gets completed, you have this picturization of what you call yourself as you, a complete you, is actually, all of it is not really you. It is avidya. Atma is vyatiriktaha to this. The real you is different from all this. The real you is different from your body and your thoughts and your feelings and your wants and your impressions and your likes and your dislikes and your latent impressions and the thoughts that will come in the future because you have latent impressions. Because you see, sometimes you meet somebody in life you've never met before. Trust me, this is a very strange, I'm sure all of us have this experience once. Either suddenly you meet someone and say, Are, you bond with the person as if you've known the person like forever. And you wonder, I have never met the person before in my life. The person's never met me. We've never heard of each other. Yet that bonding is so complete at the first instant that you think, I have known the person forever. And sometimes it can be ulta. Either you dislike, I don't like that example much. I prefer to say they dislike you. And you can't understand कि मैंने क्या किया है. Why do they hate me so much? नहीं है, because as all of us, my favorite thing, as all of us think we are purity incarnate, we are goodness incarnate, we are incarnation of all good things in life. दूसरे इंसान को मुझसे इतनी चिढ़ क्यों चढ़ती है? दूसरा इंसान मुझे इतना हेट क्यों करता है? दूसरा इंसान मुझे इतना डिसलाइक क्यों करता है जब मैंने कुछ किया ही नहीं है? मेरी इंटेंशंस अच्छी है, मेरे थॉट्स अच्छे हैं, I take care of my values, I take care of not being rude to them. I do everything that's possible to make sure that they don't dislike, and yet I have no idea why they dislike me. I'm sure we have both experiences sometimes or the other in life. With some we suddenly bond like anything. अब समझ में नहीं आता है कि how could we not have met before in life? Or with some we have so much dislike generated कि समझ में नहीं आता, why did I have to meet this person in life, or why did they have to meet me, because they are the ones who hate me so much. They can't get over their dislike for me, and I am doing everything possible not to generate the dislike, but they still dislike me. Both of this centered in the Karan Sharir. All of it is not you. That means जिसकी ये समझ में आ गया ना, जिसका ये पेनी ड्रॉप हुआ, उसको पूरे जन्म की व्यर्थता दिखती है. This is where I know none of us will qualify probably. But व्यर्थता दिखती है जीवन की. And this is the first, when you hear of some great babas and saints and some great jnanis and अपने जीवन में उनको कुछ मूल्यवान ही नहीं लगता करने को, क्योंकि व्यर्थता दिखती है. बिकॉज आत्मा ये सब है ही नहीं. मैं ये the discovery of Atma, the recognition of Atma is not on all of this. And yet, when you live life, you're going to employ all of it. Is yes, I'm allowing that to happen as a part of it. So he's finishing. Atma is vyatiriktah to all of this that I call myself as man. And then he is supposed to have taken the next, if he's so methodically following it, the next portion he should have explained is Panchakosha Atitaha San. What is the Panchakosha? But somehow this author again misses this out. For now. He'll take it up later on. Now the next portion he starts with is Avasthatraya Sakshi. Atma kaha? Atma is a Sakshi. Of what? Avasthatraya. This we will do later, next week, because consolidation of Sukshma Sthula Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktah Atma. Therefore, my whole knowledge of myself as a person, as an entity, as an individual, as this name and form and name importantly. Who are you? Deeply Vishwanath. Please. How old are you? What else are you? Oh, I am physiotherapist. Oh, how nice. Well, mostly when people hear that, when they ask me the next question, they would say, well, I have pain here and I have an ache there. What should I do? Then you move into your, okay, fortunately now I have distanced myself so much. But normally it used to happen like that. Because if you say you're a physician, okay, if you're an accountant, people will say, oh, you're an accountant. If you're a doctor, people will say this. If you're a lawyer, people will ask. So, you will have that conversation going on. What if you are somebody more closer, what are your beliefs? What do you like? What you don't like? Okay, what should I get for you? What should I... Everything, the whole day. जिसको पेनी ड्रॉप होता है इस चीज का, उसको रियलाइज होता है पूरा दिन व्यर्थ. Conversations are व्यर्थ. Entertainment is you will still do them. I'm not saying you will not do that. But बुद्धि में correction हो गई कि ये सब व्यर्थ है. If I don't know who I am. And if I continue, not only व्यर्थ है, there is a sense of urgency that springs up suddenly. Because अगर ये सब मैं हूं ही नहीं और आत्मा क्या है और आत्मा मुझे नहीं पता कि मैं क्या हूं, और जब तक मुझे वो नहीं पता, this whole cycle is endlessly there till I have ज्ञान. The urgency springs like anything. I need to know who I am before I die. I need to know what is Atma, and I am Atma. How am I Atma? How am I Avastha? Now he's saying Atma is Avastha, Traya, Sakshi. What huge words. The entire Mandukya Upanishad can rest around it. Panchakosha Atitaha, the entire Taittiriya Upanishad will rest around it. So all Upanishads are only this portion elaboration. For who? जिसके अंदर ये व्यर्थता का भाव आ गया ना कि ये पूरा ही व्यर्थ है, तो why am I wasting time? I need to know who I am. उसको फिर वेदांत का अध्ययन शुरू होता है. Then he goes into deeper study. How am I this? Because I am not able to separate my Sukshma Sharir, Karan Sharir, Sthula Sharir. I still am seeing one as born and gone. जिसका जन्म होगा और जिसकी मृत्यु हो जाएगी, षड विकार होगा, जिसको हानि लाभ होगा, जिसको सुख दुख होगा, और etc. So next he is going to take up is Avasthatraya Sakshi. It's a whole topic in itself. Fortunately for us, the author is only going to introduce us. To know the whole topic, one should probably earn the grace or earn the, I don't know, Mandukya Upanishad will touch upon it in detail. Avasthatraya Sakshi, because all of us understand Sakshi as how today meditation has made it popular. And meditation of Sakshi as if I am a Sakshi. Now if I just become an observer like this, I am a Sakshi. It's a very misrepresentation. Just being an observer, yes, to some extent it has a shade of being Sakshi. But you must understand a Sakshi is Atma. And it is a Sakshi of what? Not of this thought and that object and now I'm feeling hatred and I'm distancing myself. वो तो है, okay, fine, observer is correct, not wrong. But it's not so limited. Sakshi is not, because अगर ऐसा होता तो the liberation should have happened in masses. इतना observation तो हर कोई कर ही लेता है. Practice से कर लेता है at least. Isn't it true? I can be an observer of my thoughts for some time at least. But that I who is an observer of thought is already a Sukshma Sharir mein baitha, this whole jeev, I. But Atma is a Sakshi, not just of this waking world thoughts, waker thoughts. Avasthatraya Sakshi is Atma. Unless until you have placed Atma into your Avasthatraya Sakshi. Therefore, but natural, the next question will be, but what is Avasthatraya? That the author will now, this Shankaracharya, this guru of ours, this writer of ours, whoever this person is who's done this tremendous anugrah on, by putting it so systematically, because our qualifications have dropped tremendously that we cannot study from Upanishads straight away. Then came the era where Gita became popular. Gita was supposed to give you Atma Gyan, but people have made Gita a manual for management and things like that. So our qualification drops further. This Shankaracharya helps the students by bringing that knowledge into a condensed way so that you get familiar with the terms, and if you have more urge to know in detail later. If this is enough, if you're an Uttam Adhikari, like yesterday the question was, will it take many, many janmas? If you're already an Uttam Adhikari, this knowledge, even in this book, is enough to give liberation. But, yes, we all need preparation. So it will continue, and if anybody gets more interested, they move on to the, finally the Upanishad is the only highest possible knowledge of, as a Praman, but Atma you are. So with this, we'll end the class. I thought I will even cover more, but end here. Shanti Mantra, Rinjin, you can do.
Yeah, I'll do that. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhave.
Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam
Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam
Nyayena Margena Mahim
न्यायेन मार्गेण महीम्
गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्
ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्
लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु
लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु
काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः
काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः
पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी
पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी
देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः
देशोऽयं शोभरहितः
ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः
ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः